So this is the latest version of the Kukirin G2 Pro that came out actually quite a long time ago. I reviewed the very first G2 Pro, and to be honest, I was not a fan of that electric scooter, if you did not see that review. So I'm curious to see, is there anything different on this model? By the way, this is the VMP version, which means it's restricted and has different spec compared to the fully unlocked version. So I'm going to try obviously unlock the speed on this, but this scooter would be suitable for people who live in very strict countries with speeds of 25 kilometers per hour and a lower watt motor. But first, let's get out of the box, then we'll take a quick look at it. So in the box you get a pump, you get of course a toolkit, you get of course your manual, and then you get your charger. Now, I think the chargers have been upgraded on the latest models, and this looks actually quite larger compared to the older ones. So let me just take a look to see what output it is. I don't know, it's actually still the same. It's a 2 amp hour output. I thought they were 3 amp hour outputs on these latest versions, but what are you gonna do? Well, straight away I can notice one or two things that are different compared to the older model that I reviewed. So what I'm going to do is we'll just quickly pop on the handlebars. You simply have 4 screws here on top. Okay, so let's have a closer look at the scooter, and then we're going to see what's different if I can pinpoint it. Okay, well, the handlebars seem to be the same, but these buttons seem to be a little bit different compared to the older version. So here's a slightly better look at the display. Definitely different compared to the older version. It's quite interesting, it's actually nice. I do like the colours on it. We have the same finger throttle. You have the key here. From what I remember, there was no key on the very first version of the G2 Pros. You have, from what I remember, of course it is height extendable still, but this latch seems to be much improved upon. It seems a lot thicker compared to the very first version, which is also nice to see. Coming down, the deck has been changed to this kind of new style that Kukirin are kind of doing. The tyres, completely different tread compared to the other ones, and they are tubeless. Kukirin going in the tubeless direction nowadays. You have these kind of new orange, I guess you could say, it's just aesthetic, because I think previously they were just black. So I guess maybe to make the scooter stand out a bit more. One thing that I'm disappointed with though, is that I have seen these models with this part, because these would be classed as a weak point. I've seen some of these models with these completely bent off and broken. I wish that would have been changed, to be honest. I never was a fan of this design on some electric scooters. You know, I will test it out, I will go rough on the scooter, but you know, it's just one of those things I wish would have been improved. Cable management, coming down here, as you can see, unfortunately, these are the cables from your display and everything else. So water can come down here, and that's the perfect entrance for water to get in straight into the battery compartment and cause damage. This cable should have been run a little bit better somewhere else, maybe even at the front here, like on some electric scooters, or on the side. But there is just, it's just the perfect entrance. It should have been done better. Folding mechanism, again, from what I remember, it seems to be changed. It seems to have the 3-step kind of folding stages, and yeah, it's very strong. So you pop that down, and then it can fold. Actually, it has a safety catch here. Oh yeah, it has a safety catch here as well. So you need to do the safety catch first, then the scooter will actually fold. So that's actually much improved upon, and it seems quite chunky compared to the older version. So that is definitely something that I'm very happy to see. Folding mechanisms are one of the weak points of some scooters, so that is a bonus. Very happy to see that. You can actually notice this VMP version by these stickers, because it seems to make it stand out from the, I guess you say, the normal version. I will talk about the specs in a second, but that's how you can kind of notice the difference between this version and the, I guess, normal version with the 600 watt motor. Coming down the back, deck seems identical, same size. Was never a fan of such small decks. And take a look, you can of course put the seat on this scooter. but these screw holes are completely exposed. Even though you don't get a seat with the VMP model, there should be screws in here to help protect it against water. So that is something that should have been done. With the normal version, you do get a seat, but with this version, because it is the Spanish regulation version, you don't get a seat. But that should have been done from factory. So that's definitely a miss. Same kick plate in the back. Short mudguard. Weak point there. There's no bracket here. So as you are riding, as you can see, this will flex and of course will eventually become damaged. Water will of course completely splash up here, and you have a perfect gap here for water to get on your trousers. So it should have been a full wraparound mudguard with brackets on the side. There's that 500 watt motor on the VMP version with those really cool tubeless tyres. Suspension seems the exact same. So I'm curious, am I going to like this compared to the very first one that I hated? I'm not sure. Of course you have your charging port here, and it has the new updated charging ports which are happening on a lot of electric scooters. So overall it has some good things and it has some really bad things. Okay, so I'm having a look here on the website to see what the spec is. This is of course called the VMP model. It also otherwise known as the DGT model. And basically this is a 48 volt 15 amp hour battery, 25 km max speed. I will see if I can unlock that. 65 km max range. Of course if you're going 25 km an hour, you'll probably get close to that, to be honest. And a 500 watt powerful motor. It of course has the tubeless tyres there, which is much of an upgrade, but it doesn't have indicators. So of course the regulations in Spain don't require indicators. I think on actually the standard model they have indicators, so it's kind of a bit funny the way the scooter is designed. So I'm gonna definitely have a closer look at it. I'm gonna play around with the settings, take it on a first ride. Please, any questions, post them below. I will of course get back to you. I've been asked constantly, what's the new version of the G2 Pro like? Now I have it in my hands, so go ahead, ask questions. In the meantime, check out my other Kukirin scooter videos that I've done, and I'll talk to you in the next video.